Hi, I'm Marta from travelfortaste.com, where I share simple recipes from all around the world. And today I will share with you not one but 5 simple dinner ideas. And this is an actual week of dinners for my family. These are not precise and strict recipes, but rather inspirations that you can easily adapt. Okay, so let's dive in. My first idea is a delicious broccoli and tuna quiche. To make 4 generous portions, I use 500 grams of broccoli, 1 can of tuna, 8 eggs, a teaspoon of capers, 4 tablespoons of grated cheese, and 1/2 cup of cream. Simply break the broccoli into little florets and dice the remaining stem. In a bowl, whisk 4 eggs with 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Add tuna, chopped capers, and 3/4 cup of cream. Then whisk it. To make this tart, you can either use a store-bought pastry or you can make it yourself, which is pretty easy. I will link a tutorial below this video. First, bake the pastry in an oven preheated to 200 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes, or until it is golden. Now cover it with the broccoli and pour over the egg and tuna mixture. In the same bowl, whisk the remaining 4 eggs with another 3/4 cup of cream and 4 tablespoons of grated cheese. And again, pour it all over the quiche. Now I bake it at 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes. After this time, the quiche should turn golden brown and the egg mixture set. Optionally, you can serve it with a garlic and red onion dip. To make it, mix 3 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, 1 chopped clove of garlic, 1/3 of a red onion, a teaspoon of soy sauce and some black pepper. And voila, the first delicious dinner is ready. For another evening, I propose you a plate of roasted vegetables with feta cheese. Simply slice all the veggies into bite-sized pieces. To feed 4 people, I used 1 eggplant, 2 zucchinis, 1 red paprika, 6 potatoes, a handful of champignons, and 2 red onions. Sprinkle it all with olive oil, salt, and paprika powder, and bake in an oven preheated to 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes, or until the potatoes are soft. I am always amazed how delicious these simply roasted vegetables are. I love to have it with a generous amount of the salty and creamy feta cheese and some freshly ground pepper. It is definitely one of my comfort foods. It is so yummy. Puff pastry rolls are one of my toddler's favorites. To make a quick pizza sauce, I simply mix 1 tablespoon of concentrated tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, and 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika powder. I mix it all well and smear it over the puff pastry. Next, I sprinkle it with 1/2 a diced onion, 1/2 a paprika, and 1 diced mozzarella cheese. You could also add some ham, mushrooms, pineapple, or really anything you'd like. Just do not crowd it. Too many ingredients will make your rolls soggy. Now I simply roll it and slice it into little portions. I bake it in an oven preheated to 220 degrees Celsius for about 7 to 10 minutes. And that's it, the dinner is served. Now comes my quickest meal, an egg toast with a quick tomato sauce and an avocado on the side. For 3 portions, I use 3 eggs, which I whisk with 3 tablespoons of cream or milk and a pinch of salt. Once combined, I dip in it a slice of bread, both sides, and I directly fry it with a bit of canola oil. But I make sure that the frying pan is hot before I add the first slice. And then I fry it on a medium heat until it is golden brown on both sides. In the meantime, I prepare my super quick tomato sauce. In a saucepan, I put 2 cups of tomato puree. To this, I add 2 tablespoons of cream, half a cup of grated cheese, and a teaspoon of dried Italian herbs or oregano. Then I bring it to a boil over a medium heat. By that time the salty cheese is melted, so I just stir it once and directly serve it over the egg toast with a side of avocado. It is an extremely simple dinner, but my family is always content with it. And last but not least, salmon baked with creamy spinach. I cook and mash 1 kilogram of potatoes with a tablespoon of butter and a half a cup of milk. I do it directly in my oven-proof dish so that there is less cleaning up afterwards. Again, this is an effortless meal that I can quickly prepare at any time of the week, so I actually use frozen salmon and frozen spinach with cream. I put still frozen fish on the top of my potatoes. In a saucepan, I defreeze my spinach and then I pour it over the salmon. And on the top goes a simple cheesy bechamel sauce. To make it, I melt 1/2 tablespoon of butter and then I add 2 tablespoons of flour, and over a medium heat, I stir it to create a smooth paste. I add a pinch of salt and mix it again. I keep stirring and I add 300 milliliters of cold milk in 3 goes. Now you want to bring it to a boil, but it is very important that you keep stirring to prevent the bechamel sauce from sticking to the bottom of your saucepan so that it doesn't burn. Once the first bubbles appear, I turn the heat off and I add 3 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. I stir it a bit and pour it onto my salmon dish. I bake it at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. It is so simple and delicious that even my toddler eats it without any complaints. So please let me know in the comment if you like this video and whether you would like to see more of such meal idea compilations in the future. And by clicking the subscribe button and the bell next to it, you make sure that you're up to date with all my newest videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!